In this video, we're going to dive into the 14 ways that I generate leads each and every single year in order to sell over 100 homes. And what I also am going to do for you, if you stay to the very end of this video, I'm going to share with you the top eight people that I network with the most in order to send me the most referrals. Let's dive into the video. So, number one, cold calling. I know I say this a lot, but there's multiple different types of cold calling, and if you're not doing it right now, this is something that I still do to this very day. So you can easily call expireds, cancels, for sale by owners, circle prospecting. These are simple things that you can be doing each and every single day. And if you go to mojosells.com, MOJOSELLS.com, put on the screen. If you go to them, that's exactly who I use. If you want to get in cold calling, dive into that. Next one is calling your database, and it really is as simple as literally just calling through every single person in your phone book to start and just reconnecting with all of them. Every single time I'm coaching a realtor and they're brand new in the business, I'll say, have you called every single person in your phone book? I'm like, well, no. I'm like, why not? I mean, like, these are people that you've probably had some type of connection with at some point. And they're like, well, what do I say? And it's typically the biggest hang up as to why we don't call them. But really quick, all you need to say is something like this. Hey, John. Hey, Sally. It's Henry with eXp Realty. I know this has been forever, and I apologize that we haven't talked in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I just saw you on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. You just want to make a connection. And I just felt compelled to reach out to you. The last couple of years have been ridiculous, and I just wanted to kind of catch up, kind of see what you're up to. You just want to reconnect with them and just say, hey, love to catch up, see what you're up to, what's new in your world. Saw you just had a kid, saw you just got a new job, saw you just blah, 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 saw whatever, just to reconnect, and like, I'd love to catch up on a phone call sometime soon. Easy enough. And when you talk about them, they're obviously going to then ask about you, and you dive into, oh, I just got my real estate license, looking to, break some records this year, and I would love your support. Next one is door knocking. I'm not a huge fan of this. I did this for a short period of time. For those of you who know my story, I did not like it, but it is something that did generate some leads for me. Number next is open houses. Really simple. We all should know what this is. What I'll say to you is this. At the very beginning of your career, you should be doing 2 every single week. It's simple, easy. All you have to do, and if you're a part of EXP, it's a really simple thing you can do. You literally just go in our EXP work chat and just say, hey, does anybody have any open houses that they need help with? I'd love to host one. I'm a new agent. Love to just go out there and support. And you'll get numerous people reaching out to you to do your open houses. If you're in another brokerage, you can just reach out to your office manager saying, hey, I have free time this Saturday or Sunday. Love to do an open house. It is a simple, easy, free way that you can go out and get some leads. Number next is sphere of influence. This is similar to calling your database, but these are the people that you know, like, and trust already. These people who know, like, and trust you. All you have to learn how to do is also then build a little bit deeper of a relationship so they start to learn what you do for a living, so they become top of mind, or you become top of mind when it comes to real estate. And they know how to refer you. A lot of people forget that. Like, oh, well, I don't know why my cousin didn't refer me when their friend sold that house. Well, it's because they don't know how to refer you. What you want to do is educate people and say, like, hey, if hypothetically you have somebody in your life, don't be afraid to ask this question. I'm going to knock this over. But if hypothetically somebody came to you and said, hey, I'm thinking about selling my house, who is the first person that comes to mind? Don't be afraid to ask that question to your friends, your family, everyone in your life, because they might not say you. And if you don't ask, it's very uncomfortable sometimes for me to ask that question, especially when I love them, and then I'll hear it, and I'm like, wow, it's not me. Like, okay, well, can I ask you why you want to refer that person? It's not, you lit up with a smile when you said that person. They're like, how do you know them? That person's top of mind. You might not be top of mind. You got to make sure you ask that kind of question. And what you can possibly say to overcome that is basically just say, hey, Ethan, other than Susan, John, whoever else that other realtor is, if it's not you, you say, would you be open to possibly giving me the next referral that comes to you? Yeah, absolutely. They're not really going to say no if you just ask, right? We got to plant that seed, okay? Number next is networking events and group events. I know I've talked about this in other videos, but literally don't overcomplicate this. Anything that you go to that is more than like 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 people is going to be magical if you get their contact information, which is basically, just grabbing my phone real fast, you get their full contact information. Some people they get their business card. I'm like, what? Listen. When I'm networking with somebody and they hand me a business card, I'm like, oh my gosh. What you need to do right then and there and say, hey, all right, I get your business card right now. What I'm going to do is I'm just like, hey, John, great meeting you, whatever, Sally, it was great meeting you. I'm going to do right now, I'm going to shoot you a text with my contact information. That way you have it, because I don't trust anybody with my business card. 9 times out of 10, it ends up crumpled up, thrown out. If there's somebody you want to really connect with, get their contact information. Don't get their business card. Get their contact information. If they only want to give you their business card, text them right away. Don't just give them your card. The one thing I'd also say with networking events, get outside of the real estate world. Do not go to realtor events because there's 90 realtors there. You don't want to be 91. You want to be the one, right? So you want to go to an event like, if you like bowling, it's the only sport I'm decent at, I'll go to a bowling group or a league or whatever, and I'll network with a bunch of people because most likely I'll be the only realtor, or I'll go to a gym and I might be the only realtor. I'll go to a golf session, I might be the only realtor. Like I'll go to these things where like I'm going to be hopefully the only realtor in the room. I don't want to go to a realtor event. Number next is social media. Do not be afraid to be loud, proud of who you are, and stop, for the love of God, stop doing 2 different channels. You are your business. There's no point in just splitting it up. So all I can say is be loud and proud, post a lot of content, niche down in something. You watch my content, so like you know what I'm about, right? Niche it down in what you love, and want to be known for, and blast it out there. Number next is past clients. If you have hypothetically sold 1 house, 2 houses, 3 houses, whatever it is, doesn't matter how many, but every person you've sold can become a testimonial that you can promote and be loud about on social media. Also, you can be using that person as a huge referral source. They trusted you in order to sell their home, and there should be several other people that they know or might come across, right, that they could refer you. Obsess over your past clients. You want to love them because, listen, hypothetically, just being honest with you, that person's probably going to end up having to need a realtor again at some point in time in their life. It should be you. Number next is other realtors. Connect with other realtors. Listen, I'm in the state of New Jersey. So here's a really cool thing. If you hypothetically know somebody who's looking to move to the state of New Jersey, I'm your guy. Thank you so much. I would love and appreciate your referrals, right? I'd love to be the guy that you think of when your client is hypothetically looking to move to New Jersey. Love to help you out. But I also have a lot of people, because in New Jersey, New Jerseyans like to move south. So I have people that I know in Virginia and the Carolinas and Tennessee and mostly Florida, because that's where a lot of these people move to, is Florida. Now it's like I want to connect with, and I have been connecting with a lot of people from Florida because I can send them some business, right? So hypothetically, if you're in Florida, reach out to me, DM me, comment right now. I mean, like, listen, I could send you quite a bit of business, right? You want to connect with other realtors where you know people are going to be going. Number next is paid advertising, okay? Paid ads. Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all that kind of jazz, wherever you want to be. Yes, it still works. You didn't miss the boat, okay? I'm going to be blunt. You didn't miss the boat. Just get on it. Number next is podcasts. You might not have thought about this, but start your own podcast. It's an easy thing to start up. It's not complicated. You can post it on Instagram, Facebook. I mean, it doesn't have to be on all these things. You can just post it on social media. It really doesn't matter where it is. You can just call it a podcast and interview guests. It automatically puts you on a pedestal when you have a guest in who possibly is pretty successful. You'd be like, hey, like if you want to network with, again, some of the professional partners I'm going to talk about in a second. First one on that list is divorce attorneys. I'm going to get into it. But hypothetically, you want to pull a divorce attorney into your network and really show them some love. Hey, Sally, the divorce attorney, I'd love to interview you on my podcast. I've heard nothing but fantastic things. I saw a ton of reviews. Would love to get to know about how people can refer you some more business and learn about your story. Would you be open to doing so? No one's really going to say no. And if they say no, you probably don't want to network with them, just being honest, okay? So start a podcast, a really simple thing to do. You get literally one camera, you sit next to each other. And you can even do it over Zoom. It doesn't have to be complicated. Number next is handwritten letters. I used to do a ton of these. I've gotten it down to probably 2 a day at this point. So 2 a day, 2 letters a day where you basically write out a handwritten card and just send it to the people you love and appreciate. When's the last time you got a handwritten card that wasn't from your family? Right? I mean, like, it doesn't happen. Or even that wasn't your birthday or a holiday. A card that just said, hey, thinking about you, hope you're doing fantastic. You're on my mind, wanted to reach out and send you some love and appreciation. No, you never get that, or you know what I mean? Like, just send out a couple thank you cards, connection cards, hey, great meeting you cards. I mean, like, people really freaking appreciate it, and I'm telling you, it goes really far with your relationships. Number next is an email list. Anytime you ever sell a home, any person in your contact list, any person that you come in contact with and you get one of those lousy business cards, what you're going to do is you're going to put them into an Excel spreadsheet, and then you're going to do a weekly or monthly email and keep in contact with them because you want to be everywhere, right? Just put them into an email list, and what you're going to do is weekly or monthly, you're just going to send out a newsletter, and you don't have to be too freaking crazy about it. You write one little thing that's going on in your life. Hey, January newsletter, I'm going to give this one away. Over the holidays, this is what I did. So excited for a great new year. I'd love to get to know what you guys did for the holidays. What's some things that you're looking forward to do this year? What are some of your biggest goals for 2022? What are your New Year's resolutions? Don't overcomplicate this. This stuff can be simple. My favorite one. Professional partners. Okay, this is like referrals. These are the 8 that I've seen, and I feel like I've gotten the most referrals from. So listen in. Come close to the screen. I want to see your face. I want to see your eyes. Okay. Listen. What we're gonna do is this. Number 1 is divorce attorneys, okay? Divorce attorneys connect with people, obviously sadly going through divorce, But that means typically, if you can become that go-to realtor that the divorce attorney can recommend, what you're going to be able to do is you might even get a couple sales out of it. You're going to get the sale of the current home and then possibly 2 purchases. It's going to be a 3-deal referral. I mean, mind-boggling, right? So, like, take some time and network with some divorce attorneys, and I'm being honest, this is how crazy this is. You really only need, like, 1 or 2 great divorce attorneys that you can refer and possibly have at your podcast and other things, because I'm telling you, like, if you really dig in deep with that relationship, you don't need a ton of them. Number next, estate attorneys. These are people who are sadly, you know, someone passed away and you need to set up an estate, or this is before they passed away, but the point is that, like, they're going to typically refer to their estate attorney because someone passed away and they have to divide the asset up. So if you know an estate attorney, you're going to be able to be referred, because a lot of people don't even know a realtor. Just mind-boggling stuff, right? Some people don't even know a real estate agent. You get to be that person because you know the professional they're going to go to. Number next is REO asset managers. This can be a little bit tricky if you're brand new, but listen, all I can say is go after it. Like, DM and message 10 million people. Like, you know, you can literally Google asset managers, United States or whatever state you're in, and just go ham. I mean, like, don't, and I'm going to be honest with you, you don't have to go after asset managers in your state, because hypothetically, they are most likely going to be out of state, because those people, that bank hypothetically has multiple assets all over the place, so you don't have to just focus on your state, just letting you know that. Bankers and lenders, huge, but here's the trick. This is the biggest thing I've talked to people about. If you're brand new and you're going to go to a very seasoned lender who makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars a year, why are they going to refer you business? You're brand new, right? What I would do is I would connect with a very new, a person who's just starting out in their career in that area as a banker, as a lender, right? And yes, I want to be honest with you. They better be a part of a great team and a great company, because they might not treat your client super well. So you got to be careful, right? Like, I got really lucky, and I connected with somebody who's a part of a great family business, right? And we grew up in the business together. He's like my brother now, right? And you know, that relationship worked out super well. We grew up in the business together. We are each other's biggest referral partner accounts, right? So, you know, when you get that kind of connection at the very beginning of your careers, you'll grow together and you'll probably get a lot of business that way. Just a quick tip. Number next is property managers. Just realize, like, listen, like, the sole purpose of a property manager is to manage properties for other people. They're going to know if they're going to be selling. So connect with a bunch of property managers. I've done this in the commercial world. It's made me a lot of money. Number next is contractors, another huge one. Why is somebody typically renovating their property? One of 2 things. They either probably just purchased their property, or they've owned it for so long that they're going to update it to possibly sell it, or in a few years, you know what I'm saying? Like, they know typically they're going to speak to their contractor about possibly making renovations before they sell quite often. So connect with your local contractors. Number next is charity organizations. I know this sounds kind of strange, but I made a lot of money connecting with charity organizations, because they buy these homes for halfway houses and for homeless, for sober living homes and other things that these people, like, they need these, like, that's what the charity does. They buy these assets to then put people in that they can help and take care of, and, you know, whatever that they're going through. I mean, it's a really incredible thing to be a part of that transaction, but they need property, right? And they give me criteria and I'm able to help them with that. Number next is barbershops and salons. My barber is the freaking man. I love him so much. Like, I'm his go-to realtor. We basically grew up in the business together. Like, I've been going to him for 10 years. I'll never go to anybody else. I mean, like, I'm his referral. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm his go-to guy with this. What I want you to realize, though, is with barbershops and salons, they know so many people. It's mind-boggling, and they literally have people sitting in their chair for 15 minutes and 30 minutes, an hour, 2, 3, whatever it is in salons, right? Like, I don't go to a salon, this takes like 15 minutes to get cut. Like, my girlfriend has much longer haircuts than I do, right? But, like, because they're sitting in the chair, they get to know their life story, so they're going to know when they're looking to move or not. Be cognizant of who to be in relationship with, because these are my top 8. What I also like to do is this. Comment below with which one of these lead sources you're going to implement, guaranteed, committed, 110%. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I want to know which one you love the absolute most and how you're going to be implementing it in 2022. Other than that, guys, I'm exhausted. It's the middle of the night. I'm recording a ton of content because I love you guys so much. So please smash the like button if you made it to the very end. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.